Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Remember to like and subscribe for hotter food next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Hanzo Hasashi, also known as Scorpion. As the official mascot of the Mortal Kombat series, Scorpion likes to keep his friends close and his enemies closer, and if they get too far away, he'll just impale them and drag them back in.
Come a little bit closer, you're my kind of man, so big and so strong. Come a little bit closer.
Let's start off by figuring out our goals for this build. First, we need a chain to pull our foes in for some nasty combos. Next, we'll get some teleportation options so we can surprise the enemies who expect us to keep our distance. Finally, we'll get some fire spells to get nice and toasty. For stats, we're using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll all you want, just keep multi-classing minimums in mind. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Charisma is going to be number 1. It's how we throw our fire around. Dexterity next. The Shirai Ryu are ninjas after all. Constitution after that. Everyone in the Mortal Kombat tournament is going to be trying to kill you. Strength will follow. He hits fast, but he also hits hard. Intelligence is a little on the lower end, but we're actually going to dump wisdom as he fails a pretty big insight check on Quan Chi. Hanzo is a human. For your variant, grab the Elemental Adept feat, which powers up your fire spells, letting you ignore damage resistance and re-roll 1s and 2s on damage die with those spells. Use your 2 free points to bump up charisma and dexterity. Take athletics for your skill of choice and build your own background for acrobatics and stealth proficiencies. We'll start off by grabbing some powers from the Nether Realm by rolling up a Fiend Warlock. Now, whether or not you still want to serve Quan Chi is up to you, but you might as well keep the powers of hell. Since you're a Warlock, you get to take 2 skills from their list. I'd go for Intimidation and History. Dark One's Blessing invigorates you with temporary hit points when you kill someone, restoring HP equal to your Charisma modifier plus your Warlock level. You also get spells from the Fiend list, focusing on the character ones here. Burning Hands creates a 15-foot cone of fire in front of you that deals 3d6 fire damage to creatures that fail a dex save of 8 plus your Charisma and your proficiency bonus. Hellish Rebuke lets you force a dex save on a creature that damages you. Failing that, they take 2d10 fire damage and half as much on a success. It's nice for breaking out of combos. For a cantrip, so we need Eldritch Blast. It's a ranged spell attack that deals 1d10 force damage. Create Bonfire creates a 5-foot cube within 60 feet of you that forces a dex save. Failing that, creatures take 1d8 fire damage. Sounds like a fun camping thing, but it can really be used to light someone up. Second level Warlocks can take some Eldritch Invocations. Grasp of Hadar lets you pull enemies up to 10 feet closer to you when you hit them with an Eldritch Blast once per round. To make that magical chain do a little extra damage, take Agonizing Blast, adding your Charisma modifier to damage on hits with an Eldritch Blast. Third level Warlocks can take a Pact Boon, not an Ed Boon. Pact of the Blade lets you use an action to create any melee weapon you want and wield it with proficiency. It counts as a magical weapon for overcoming resistances. You can also learn second level spells. Scorching Ray lets you make 3 ranged attacks that deal 2d6 fire damage on a hit. You can throw these all at one target or at 3 different ones. You can also grab Misty Step, which lets you teleport 30 feet as a bonus action. So if they won't get over here, you can get over there. 4th level Warlocks can grab another feat. The Warcaster feat lets you cast spells while holding something in both hands, so you can shoot fire out of your mouth if you need to. You also have advantage on saves to maintain concentration, and can cast spells as attacks of opportunity instead of weapon attacks. Over to Fighter now, you get a Fighting Style. 2 weapon fighting lets you add your ability modifier when you make an attack with your offhand weapon. Quick reminder that fighting with 2 weapons means that you attack with your action, and you make another attack as a bonus action with the offhand weapon. You also get Second Wind, which lets you heal 1d10 plus your fighter level as a bonus action once per long rest, letting you get ready for the next round. Second level fighters get Action Surge, letting you have another action once per long rest, extending your combo. There's also no limit on what you can do with that action, so if you want to use it for a spell instead, go ahead. Third level fighters can choose a martial archetype, and the champion is simple but effective. You get improved critical, letting you land a critical hit on a 19 or a 20. Now this is only for weapon attacks, not spells, so it's not like unreasonably good or anything. Fourth level fighters get an ability score improvement, bump up your charisma for better spells and more consistency with your chain, or Eldritch Blast if you want to call it by its book name. 5th level fighters get an extra attack, letting you make a second attack on your action, and you can still use your offhand weapon as a bonus action, so juggling is a possibility. 6th level fighters get another ability score improvement, so you can cap your charisma here, making sure that those flames will roast anyone who steps to the Shirai Ryu. 7th level champions are remarkable athletes, meaning that you can add half your proficiency bonus to any strength, dexterity, or constitution check you're not proficient with. You can also add your strength modifier to long jumps, making your jump distance 13 feet instead of 12 feet. Yeah, that part's not super great. 8th level fighters get another ability score improvement. Round up your constitution and dexterity for more damage, AC, and HP. They're all good things. 9th level fighters get Indomitable, letting you re-roll a failed saving throw once per long rest. Hopefully this helps you break out of your rival's icy grasp. 10th level champions can pick another fighting style. Defense gives you +1 to AC while you're wearing armor, and classify what he wears as studded leather, which works well with a high dex score. Back to Warlock now. We'll power up our fire at the 5th level with Fireball. It creates a 20-foot radius sphere that deals 8d6 fire damage to creatures that fail a dexterity save and half to those that pass it. You can also grab another 3rd level spell of your choice. Fear creates a 30-foot cone that forces a wisdom save on creatures. Failing that, the creatures are frightened and they have to use their action to dash away from you. It can re-roll the save when it loses line of sight with you. You can also grab another invocation. Improved packed weapon lets you add 1 to attack and damage rolls from your packed weapons, letting you hit a little bit harder. 6th level Fiend Warlocks get the Dark One's Own Luck, which lets you add 1d10 to an ability check or saving throw once per long rest. Sure, Quan Chi killed you and your whole family, but that d10, that's pretty nice. 7th level Warlocks learn 4th level spells, and Fiendlocks can learn Fire Shield and Wall of Fire. You may ask yourself, is Fire Shield a shield from fire or a shield made of fire? The answer is yes. You can create a Warm Shield that lets you resist cold damage, or a Chill Shield that lets you reduce fire damage. When a creature hits you with a melee attack, they take 2d8 fire damage from a Warm Shield, or 2d8 cold damage from a Chill Shield. Obviously go for the Warm Shield and stay in character. Scorpion's not very chill. Wall of Fire creates a wall of fire that's 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick, or a ringed wall that's 20 feet in diameter. Creatures inside that area make a dexterity save or take 5d8 fire damage, half on a success. You can pick one side of the wall and force the same save on anyone within 10 feet of that side. It lasts for up to a minute depending on your concentration. This is great for controlling the area, forcing people out or in, whichever is more useful at the time. You can also grab spells of your choice. Dimension Door lets you teleport up to 500 feet as an action and bring another creature with you. I'm guessing the arenas in Mortal Kombat are only like 100 feet at most, but Hanzo's teleporting abilities could take him further, who knows. Finally, you can grab another invocation. Eldritch Smite lets you expend a spell slot to add damage to your attacks you make with packed weapons, 1d8 per spell level. Considering all of your spells are 4th level, since you're a warlock, that means 4d8 force damage. And it also knocks people prone, which means you get advantage when you make another attack on them while they're on the ground. 8th level warlocks get another ability score improvement. Dexterity is kind of our number 2 skill here. We need it for better damage and higher attack rolls. 9th level warlocks can cast 5th level spells. You get Flame Strike from your Fiend Pact, creates a 10-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder that forces a dexterity save of creatures inside. Failing that, they take 4d6 fire damage and 4d6 radiant damage. Now, 8d6 might sound good, but Fireball cast at this level does 10d6 fire damage, and you're better with fire damage than radiant, so I'd use this unless you find out something's vulnerable to the radiant. You can also formally retire Misty Step by taking Far Step, which lets you teleport 60 feet as a bonus action for up to a minute depending on your concentration. Finally, you can pick up another invocation. Otherworldly Leap lets you cast a jump spell at will, tripling your jump distance for 1 minute, but since you can cast it at will, it kind of lasts as long as you want, as long as you got 6 seconds to cast it. Our capstone is the 10th level of Fiend Warlock, giving us Fiendish Resilience, letting you choose one type of damage to resist at the beginning of each day. So if you're going to be fighting your frosty arch nemesis, give yourself cold resistance and get advantage on that fight. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how good of a build this is. First, you've got great methods to control the position of players on the field. You can teleport, yank people closer to you, and jump like a rabbit. Next, you got fire spells that can deal some serious damage, considering they ignore resistances and you can re-roll the lower rolls. Finally, you've got guaranteed magical weapons and a high dex modifier to deal great melee damage. And you're going to need that melee damage because you have 2 spell slots. No pun intended, you're going to burn through your spell slots unbelievably fast. You're also lacking in intelligence and wisdom, meaning you're susceptible to failing some pretty nasty saving throws. Finally, all of your damaging spells are dex saves, so hopefully you don't end up fighting any ninjas because they'll probably evade your spells and take little to no damage. But if that's the case, just pull them in and hack them up. You've got options for a reason. Figure out who needs to get hit with which of your plethora of moves and dish out the fatality. Just remember, meter management is important. If you don't use your spells wisely, you could be on the receiving end of a very brutal death. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe. We do our best to put out 2 builds per week. Next week, we've got something to fulfill up to 15 fantasies and something for people burning the candle at both ends, so come back for that.